With the average driver spending over $1,600, probably closer to $2,500 now per year for car insurance, it's surprising to read these articles that explain that 96% of people shopping for car insurance don't know their coverages, or at least the majority of them don't understand the main pieces that affect your policy. It was also shocking that over 1,000 people assessed in this article, 78% of them falsely believed that comprehensive covered them in an accident, which it does, but not in an accident. That's where collision plays a factor. Let's dive in and go over a little bit that'll help you guys understand the main pieces that you need to know. Also, which I actually believe this to be true, about 52% said the bodily injury limits, or the liability as it's shown on your policy, was meant for your medical, and it's not. It's actually meant for the other person if you were to injure them. And over a third of everybody didn't apply for discounts that they were qualified for. There's a ton of discounts in insurance, and I'll link a video at the end that goes over actual discounts that you can get. But then on top of it, 84% said shopping for insurance saved them money. So the answer could be to shop for insurance, but as you can tell, most of these articles are meant to get you to shop. And as much as I'd love you, I've got a link in the description below. Feel free to shop there. There's independent agents that can get you quotes that's available to you. That's not always the answer. Honestly, I think having a good communication with the right agent is more important than getting the best price. For those of you that just want the best price, obviously shopping is always going to be the best route, because once your prices go up and they start to get 30+% higher than what you're paying today, that means you're not necessarily a fit for the company that you're with anymore. Then it's time to look at different options and find out who's the best company for you. That's probably how you found out to be here. Now, there's a ton of videos that I'll go over, and I'll link them here in the end, that will go over the coverages that you need to have. So hopefully we'll demystify some of this stuff for those that are learning. But to be honest with you, shopping is 7 out of 10 times the best answer. Although before you do that, it's good to know what you should be thinking of. So when you're shopping for car insurance, we need to make sure that you understand that insurance is built off of the person. Your neighbor doesn't pay the same price you would. Could be close if you have the same credit, you're the same age, you drive the same cars, you're the same risk, you've had the same history, you have the same tickets. All of those pieces, absolutely. The algorithms are built for that person. And when they don't fit that right person, the prices go all haywire. And that's where the prices tend to bounce up and bounce down. Now, these insurance have been doing it for hundreds of years. They understand that part. Technology, not so much. They struggle with technology. But as far as ratings and the product, as they call it, to price, they understand what risks should be what costs for their company. And for their company, what tier level that you're going to fit in for them as well. Most companies don't just oust you because you have a ticket or a claim, because then they'd be losing some potential referrals or business. They're not in the job to lose reputation. That's more important to an insurance company than getting a next client in. Yeah, it matters, clients and all that. It's business. Hopefully you understand that part of it. So knowing what your coverages are can actually get you a better price, because if you know some of the discounts and some of the pieces that you need to have on a policy, a lot of people don't realize that having higher liability limits when you're shopping will give you a better deal. Now be careful, because some of these agents are going to lower the liability limits, which gives you a temporary deal, a discount I call it, but it's really a rating factor. So if you have higher coverages and you want lower coverages, it's cheaper because you're lowering your risk, or lowering their risk. If you're at lower coverage and you want higher, it's the opposite. You're going to pay more because you're raising the level of risk that that insurance company is taking. It's almost like, why are they wanting to come to us at better coverage? I don't understand. To go a little bit further, I just had a company this week explain to us that if a policy changes a certain way, so if the deductible changes or the liability risk changes, they have to submit pictures of the car or proof of registration and different documents that the company is going to require. It's to prevent fraud. When the economy starts to get riskier, fraud starts to play a factor. Now I get it, I'm going a little bit off subject, but essentially knowing the coverages that you carry not only gets you a better deal, but they help you understand what you should be carrying. And the most important piece is not just how to beat the insurance company or to get through the scam part of it or play in the gray area where you could be covered and most of the time you're fine, just to save an extra $100. The point of the insurance is to get you insured correctly. If you have a major claim, you want to make sure that you're covered so you're not having to pay out of pocket. Yeah, I get it. For car insurance, it's required by law in almost every state there is, and that can be frustrating, especially when the costs are going up 20 to 30% in this year alone. Is it more costly, there's cost? Is it more expensive to have a major claim and not have the right coverage than to pay the right price a little bit more for the right coverage? I'd be curious to know your thoughts. Which way do you lean? Because those are two options that I typically offer to clients when we shop with them. Are you the type that would rather know that you're covered and pay a little extra? Or are you the type that is willing to take a little bit more risk just to save some extra money? It has to fit the budget too. So, next step, if you need to know more about your policy, I'm going to put my Car Insurance 101 that's going to go into depth on the coverages most people carry and the cost of them. If you already know all of that and you kind of agree with this article and you're one of the few and it just helps to get more discounts, I'm going to put my discounts here as well. I'm Mark with Think Insurance. I'll see you in the next one.